What's going on, guys? It's Coach Noob back in the building with another one. As usual, it's gonna be jam packed full of jewels, and your time is always appreciated because you can be doing anything, but you hear me checking out these reviews, man. It's another wild one about a 19-year-old woman that got shot by her alleged ex-boyfriend. So let's check it out.
Developing at midday, a 19-year-old woman is dead after being shot. Thank you for joining us. I'm Andy Sirota. Pasadena police are now searching for her ex-boyfriend. Investigators believe 20-year-old Juan Carlos Mata fired those shots at the Oak Village Apartments in Pasadena before taking off. KPRC2 Sabira Rayford is live at the complex where she spoke to the victim's family.
All right, man. So, what I'm saying, 19 years old, the young lady, that's way too young, to be going out like that behind a domestic dispute. And 20 years old, and that's way too young for a young man to be going out like that as well. And, you know, even if he didn't do it, they're still looking for him because he was the last person to be seen with her. And that's why I always talk about mental health, physical health, spiritual health, decision making, and why it's so important on making sure that your mental health is, you're aware of it, and your physical health and your spiritual health, because and as well as your decision making, because when your mental health isn't right, you don't make the best decisions that you can make for yourself, and you end up putting yourself in a situation that you don't want to be in. For this one, just from him being the last person that she was with, and them having domestic disputes in the past and things of that nature, they're already looking at you if something happens to the young woman, which it did. And 20 years old, man, is too young to be even that worried about a woman, bro, to the point where if things don't work out or if you guys get into an argument, you feel like you have to unalive her. So you should always put more energy into yourself than and build yourself, work on yourself to the point where you're not really worried about what the woman is doing, who she's with, things of that nature, man. And it'll really save you a lot of time and trouble, headache, things like that. And especially, when situations are this serious, like it showing like you got a history of doing stuff like that. Because if you were like nice to her or you always walked away every time you guys got into a dispute, then something like this, if it happened, they probably wouldn't be looking for you or looking at you like that. They would most likely be looking to you for help to find out if something was going on with somebody else or something like that. And on top of that, it's an ex boyfriend. So, it just seems like he wasn't able to handle a breakup and he went about it the wrong way, didn't make the right decision, wasn't in the right headspace mentally, and one thing led to another, and things took a turn for the worse.
Police say it was the family who made the 911 call for help. Police say they got here within 2 minutes, but it was too late.
Our family's in a lot of shock and in a lot of pain right now.
Lourdes Martinez says her family's pain is indescribable. She says last night her parents found her sister, 19-year-old Leslie Reyes, shot to death just steps away from their family apartment.
Once they came out to the parking lot, they just saw people running.
Pasadena police believe this is the man behind the trigger, 20-year-old Juan Carlos Mata.
They were together, I believe, a little bit over a year. But then they ended it due to it being a toxic relationship, and I'm not sure what got into him that made him commit this crime.
So toxic relationship, man. That's why it's so important to stay away from those. And if you feel like you're always arguing or fighting with your woman, man, it's the best thing for you to do is just to get up out of there, go find something to do with your time other than fight and argue with the woman, because it doesn't help your situation. We all know that, you know, sometimes women push your buttons and they get on your nerves. When that happens, that's when you should do some critical thinking. Is it the best thing for you mentally, physically, spiritually? And what's the best decision that you could make so that things don't get bad and you'll be able to wake up the next day not feeling guilty, not on the run, not, worried about police looking for you, anything like that, man. The best thing is not to argue with her. Come back later, talk to her. And if you know that the conversation is going to lead up to arguing or something like that, and then just don't have that conversation at all. Just let it go. Don't, make things worse. And sometimes, people aren't meant to be together. You just don't match up. And you're not compatible with each other, and that's okay. It's millions of women out here, man. And there's somebody for everybody. So don't put too much energy into something that's not working for you, so you don't end up in this type of situation.
Say Mata showed up to the apartment around 6 or 7 in the evening looking for Reyes. He was waiting on her to return from her job at O'Reilly's Auto Parts. They were last seen talking in the parking lot, and then it escalated.
They went out looking for her, and they started hearing some arguing.
Police say he shot Reyes in the head, fired a couple of shots in the air, and took off on foot, leaving his car behind and Reyes' family devastated.
And it doesn't help that you left your car at the scene too. And then, they say you shot a few times, you hit her once, and then, the decision that you made was so messed up, and that you had to go on the run or be missing. You don't want to be questioned by the police if you did something. And, 9 times out of 10, if you don't have anything to hide, you're more than willing to help out and find out what happened to the woman that you love. But when you gotta run, and it just makes your situation look worse. And then she ended up being unalive, man. And that's just, it's sad that just start taking the time to think. A couple minutes, man, a couple seconds, bro. A decision that took a couple seconds affected him for the rest of his life. And now, he's on the run. They're looking for him. And it could have just been avoided.
She knew what she loved. She loved cars. That's what she liked doing, and she was a very sweet girl. When I struggled, she would help me. I will always remember her.
And it's, a toxic situation, and it affected, the whole family, both families, the shooter and the woman who didn't make it, man, because all off a decision. That's why I always say the decisions that you make affect you and everyone around you, and this is a perfect example of that, man. So, just make the best decision that you can for yourself and for others. So things like this won't happen.
Police confirmed to us that they had responded to a disturbance call involving the two in the past. Reporting live in Pasadena, Severe Wakeford, KPRC 2 News.
Severe, thank you. Now,
all right, then, them responding to calls in the past, it doesn't make a situation look better. It, from you running from that, or even being a suspect for something like that. And then, a year for them to be together, that's a short time, bro. And stuff shouldn't it ever get to that point, especially like a year goes by fast, man. It shouldn't be to the point where you got to unalive somebody You barely even know. Like, you don't know somebody after a year. That's just, it takes time to get to know somebody. And if you feel like it's somebody that you're not getting along with or you can never agree, then it's time to leave, man. And focus on something else. Let it go. No matter how good she look, how good the coochie is, how much money she got, and any of that stuff doesn't matter, man. What matters is your mental health, physical health, spiritual health, and your decision making. You being the best version of yourself every day, making the right decisions and keeping yourself out of situations like this. Anyway, it's Coach Nuke, man. Like, share, comment, subscribe if you're digging this kind of content. And the time is always appreciated because you could be doing anything, but you hear me checking out these reviews. Until next time, I'm out.